I think everyone has seats now. Are you good? Okay. Okay, we're going to start now. We don't have any microphones, so I'm just going to have to talk loudly. You guys too, whenever you come up here, make sure you talk so everyone can hear you. But welcome to Student Niner Media's annual Student Body Presidential Debate. Today, presidential and vice presidential candidates for the 2015-2016 term will debate topics including platforms, term plans, and how they plan to deal with current issues facing the student body. Audience members can submit questions for candidates at any time during the debate to Eden, who's right back there. You can write them down and give them to her, or you can tweet the questions to Niner_times. Each candidate will have 4 minutes to answer each question and 4 minutes to answer each question and 4 minutes to rebut each answer. I'll indicate how much time you have left by ringing a bell, it's right over there, at the 2-minute mark and at the 4-minute mark when your time is up. Vice presidential candidates will be the first to debate tonight. Prior to the start of the debate, we had both candidates draw a number to determine who will answer first and who will rebut first. The order will switch after each question. So to start, let's have each VP candidate take 2 minutes to introduce themselves. Candidates, do not take this time to discuss your platform, as you will be able to discuss it through answering debate questions. Okay, Mr. Doberton, you can come first.
Hello everyone, my name is Jared Doberton. I'm a sophomore accounting and finance double major, possibly minoring in poli-sci. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and currently I serve on the Student Body Senate. I also have a position on the Senate right now, and that's Organizational Ways and Means Chairman. So all those annoying emails you've gotten all semester about funding, those have been from me. That's mainly my job, is approving and denying grants and handing out student organization money. Yes, I also served as an orientation counselor this past summer. Was a great experience. Got to advocate for a lot of the Charlotte community. Met a lot of faces. See some people in my small groups here, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's it.
Just fine.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chloe Vines. I'm a sophomore, a marketing major. I'm the vice president of the Black History Club. I'm on the sophomore class council. On the e-board for 49er Transit and Niner Pride, and that's about it.
All right, so we'll get started with our first question for the VP candidates. Question 1 is, describe something past student body vice presidents have done during their term that you admire, and describe something you would like to do better Describe something you would like to do to better the student body that has not been done before. And if you need me to repeat a question after you go, if you would like me to repeat it, I can do that. Just let me know. Ms. Vines goes first. Okay, you can do it.
Something that I admire that a past vice president has done would be probably Ruthie, which is our current vice president. I admire that she's really pushed and stood by Stephen's side the whole time. Like, they work as a team together. But what I would do different is I would probably... Sorry, this is a hard question. I think I would just make sure that Brittney had everything she needed, I guess, and made sure that I was doing everything to my responsibility to push our platform, which is inclusiveness, and just be there whenever she needs anything. And that's about it. Thank you.
Okay. So something that this past year, I'm going to talk about Stephen and Ruthie as well. Something that I admire that they've done is advocate for the building of the Health and Wellness Center. Now this was a building that was not necessarily first, I guess, accepted by administration and the chancellors. office, but that is definitely something that administration was definitely able to fight for. I guess my goals moving forward is definitely working on the planning phase of that, and I'm excited about that. Something that I do think that could be better within SGA is definitely transparency. I think that as our system is set up now, we don't necessarily reach out to all the student organizations on campus and don't necessarily reach out to all the academic colleges on campus. So I guess something that I personally would like to see is the Student Senate right now hold town hall meetings. Now that's something that has been done in the past, but what those are really open forums for specific academic colleges for students to come in and voice their concerns to both student senators and then also to academic advisors and other administration that would be there. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Question 2, and Mr. Doberton, you'll answer this one first. What do you think is the role of a student body vice president, and where do you think your duties as VP would end?
I think my role as vice president is first to make sure that the student body senate is doing what they're supposed to do. Now, what that is to advocate for the general student body since they are elected by students. Also, something that I would take upon myself is always making sure that the internal things are going as they should, also on the exec committee, the judicial branch, and then the Senate again. But really what that would look like for me is making sure that Mitch is doing the best that he can and feels like that he is taken care of on the internal matters while he's putting his face out there and meeting with student organizations to get their voice, and also meeting with the Board of Chancellors. Was there a second part to that question?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
See your duties as VP ending?
I guess my duties would probably never end, since if elected, I would be walking around and most of the student body would know that I was vice president. And that is something that I have been used to with this past summer with being an orientation counselor. That's something that I took pride in being because you were the face of Charlotte to all incoming students. That was 7,000 incoming students, so that can be a little tiring at times, but again, it's something that I would definitely take pride in being. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. What do you think is the role of a student body vice president, and where do you think your duties as VP would end?
I think my role as student body vice president, I agree with Jared, to make sure our Senate is doing their part, to make sure everything internally is running smoothly, but to also, me and Brittney work more as a team than vice president and president. Like, it's not like she's over me. She is, but we work as a team. So I'd make sure that the Senate was doing their part, and I would make sure that my duties wouldn't end until we reached our goal of inclusiveness and built the school spirit and make sure everybody was included and felt good at UNC Charlotte, which is what our main goal is. That's it.
Okay, there's only one more question for the VP candidates, and the third question is, lately there's been a push to get the three branches of student government more involved with one another. Why has this issue not been stressed in the past, and what would you do as vice president and leader of the Senate to maintain closer partnerships? And Ms. Vimes, your first question.
Can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Yeah. Lately there's been a push to get the three branches of student government more involved with one another. Why has this issue not been stressed in the past, and what would you do as vice president and leader of the Senate to maintain closer partnerships?
I feel that this issue hasn't been stressed in the past because no one is really, we can't see what goes on in the judicial branch, so we don't know what's going on, and they're not going to push each other to fix the issues. And I think that could you repeat the second part of the question, please?
Yeah. What would you do as vice president and leader of the Senate to maintain closer partnerships?
I would reach out to each branch of the judicial branch and maybe have weekly meetings or something along the lines of that to make sure everyone's up to date and everyone's included. Thank you.
All right, so I do think that this is an issue that has been touched on in the past. I know personally from speaking with Ruthie Inserio and Shailene Morris, who currently is the Chief Justice of the judicial branch. That is something that they did talk about when they all did come first into office. Unfortunately, the problem with integrating different branches is that this can be difficult. Ideas were used that weren't necessarily the most effective thing. Since I currently sit on Senate, this is something that I have been looking into. I guess my goal for the future and the judicial branch would be to create a position that would involve an elected person to sit on both the judicial branch and the Senate branch. And what that would look like is making sure that the Senate is operating following the constitutional rules, and then also on judicial board as a fully trained member. I also do think that training is a big discussion that the Ruthie Inserio administration also talked with Shailene. My idea going forward with training for the three branches would be for all three to be together. Now, how training for the judicial branch is done now is that's through the Dean of Students office. So that is not necessarily the exact same training that the rest of Senate and exec receive, but it's definitely something that I would like to still have together, because I do think creating that continuity between the three branches is something that should be done. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes the vice presidential portion of the debate. Thank you, Mr. Doberton and Ms. Fines. We'll now give the presidential candidates 2 minutes each to address themselves. Again, please do not take this time to discuss your platform, as you'll be able to do so through answers and rebuttals. Also, I was told to announce that we're bringing more chairs in for you guys. Yay. Okay, so Mr. D'Artoni, you can go first with your introduction.
All right. Hey, everyone. Let's lighten the mood in here, please. So my name is Mitch D'Artoni. I'm running for student body president. A little bit about me is I'm a sophomore. I'm in the Belk College of Business. And then a few things about me is I've been in SGA for 2 years now, ever since I came here to UNC Charlotte. First, serving as the freshman class president. That was last year, and with that I served on the tuition and fees board, and also on the exec board. And then I graduated up to secretary for athletic affairs on the exec board underneath Serio. So with that, I worked with a lot of administration and a lot of athletics, people in athletics, and I'm just looking at traditions now. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittney Jones. I'm a junior, a political science major. I am the president and the founder of the Black History Club. I sit on the exec board of 49er Transit and Niner Pride. I am a part of National Society of Collegiate Scholars. I'm sorry. I am the only girl in my family. I have an older brother and a younger brother. I'm from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I chose UNC Charlotte because of the diversity and the push for community and the love for community and the love for Niners. And I am very excited to be standing before you tonight.
Okay, audience members, keep in mind you can submit questions, once again, to Eden right over there, or you can submit them by tweeting to Niner_Times. I'll get started with the first questions for the presidential candidates. Ms. Jones, you'll answer first, and Mr. D'Artoni, you'll go second. Can you describe your platform and how you plan to implement it? Do you think this plan is one that has the capability of being carried on through the Student Government Association when your term ends? Okay.
All right. As you heard, Chloe continually said individuality and inclusiveness. Our platform revolves around diversity and inclusiveness, the opportunity to expand equality and opportunity through individuality and cultural awareness in order to become a more welcoming, diverse, and environmentally sustainable university. So our mission, our main goal is to have SGA be more open and have an open hand, allow students to be able to trust that they will get what they said they would get done. Let SGA be advocates for every individual Niner. So we broke it down into 3 platforms: campus living, inclusiveness, and citizenship. Campus living included increasing the financial transparency in the fee presentation policy. So from personal experience, I'm a junior and I've been at UNC Charlotte for almost 3 years. Semester, me and my mom looked on my account and we saw a general fee, and for some reason that's the very first time I've ever saw it. My mom was like, "What is this general fee?" And we went on Google, we tried to find the number, we finally found the number. The person that we called broke it down, and it ended up going to big organizations like CAB, the athletic department, and I feel as if we had a better system, it would be easier for people to get online and just see where their money is going to. Also in campus living, we have promoting the academic services. Me and Chloe have been working with UCAE and the Writing Center.
That's just your 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, so inclusiveness, I'm going to move on. Specifically, we pinpointed the freshmen and the sophomores so it would happen for them next year. A program specifically designed for freshmen to be involved in at least one program or one organization or club, because to stress the importance of getting involved, because freshmen tend to forget that, well, they don't realize the importance of getting involved until it's too late. Just like if you're not a part of SGA your freshman year, it's kind of hard to get into the groove if you come in your sophomore year or your junior year to run for student body president. And I'm going to skip down to citizenship. And one of our main points was to give students the opportunity to petition for direct campus initiatives through 49er Transit and Niner Pride. So we've been working with them because their main mission and main goal is exactly inclusiveness. When you have inclusiveness and you have every individual involved, you can create school spirit. You can create people coming to support your programs, more people coming to support the presidential debate. And that's our platform. Thank you.
The question was, can you describe your platform and how you plan to implement it? Do you think this plan is one that has the capability of being carried on through the Student Government Association when your term ends?
All right, awesome. So yeah, my platform, I break it down into 3 different pillars. The first pillar would be traditions, and we really want to give specifics of what we're going to work on, so right when we get in, we can start working right away. So for traditions, we're looking at doing something where we give new members of Charlotte a new home jersey when they come here as a new student, and when they graduate, they get an away jersey. Also under tradition, we would love to see out that traditions that the tradition committee has been working on this past year, see those through, because those are definitely viable traditions that we can be seen here at Charlotte. And also a great thing to rally behind. I know a lot of you did not like the tailgating these past 2 seasons, and talking at getting it moved, and there's so many traditions that can come along with that. Our second pillar is excellence. Jared touched on it. So town hall meetings would be such a great transparency tool for the SGA. What that would look like is senators and administrators from each respective college academic college would meet and hold an open forum for students in that academic college to come and voice their opinion of what they really don't like about that college, or what they can improve upon, or what they want to implement. We really do see that helping out with transparency in SGA. And our third thing is student life. We see that happening, and it starts at SOAR. When you get accepted here and you come to SOAR, that is when you start to become a Niner. And there's so many things we want to do with SOAR because we want to get you when you're young. Really getting involved. Such things are doing breakout sessions for SGA. And if you guys went to SOAR, there was different breakout sessions, but SGA did not have one. We definitely want to make it to where SGA has one because SGA is one of the most powerful voices for student voices here on campus. So that is our platform. Thank you.
Okay. Question 2, Mr. D'Artoni, you'll go first, and Ms. Jones, you'll go second. At last week's Senate meeting, an act was proposed that could eliminate the judicial branch from student government. Do you support this act? Why or why not?
All right, so I do not support that we get rid of judicial from SGA. There has been talks, and there might be an agreement upon where we don't get rid of it, but rather elect a new position on the executive board that also goes to, or a position from judicial that sits on exec board and goes to Senate meetings. It would be a liaison between all three branches, and we see that this would really become a great transparency tool too. It would really help all three branches work together, and we see that it would eliminate the problem that we've all seen, efficiencies in SGA.
So, one of the issues that we talked about on our platform was to allow students to be able to sit in on meetings that the student government is taking or is having and talking about important issues like getting rid of the judicial board. So without that, the student body has no idea why they want the judicial board. So I can't really speak on if they should get rid of it or not, but speaking on as a political science major, I would say no, because this is how the government really works. And if student government is going to be like a small government, then it needs a judicial board.
Okay. The third question, Ms. Jones, you'll go first, and Mr. D'Artoni, you'll go second. UNC Charlotte is composed of a diverse student body. What will you do to ensure that your messages have a large reach and that each student is fairly represented?
Okay, so our platform actually breaks that down. We pinpointed freshmen and sophomores, men and women in general, individual clubs and organizations, disability services, non-traditional students, transfer students, international students. Everyone is included. So one of our ideas was we were working with Niner Pride and the Spirit Programming Board. We're pushing for a comprehensive calendar specifically designed for smaller and individual organizations so everyone knows what's going on. So no one will feel left out. We already have a CAB calendar, so it would be kind of similar to it. We have a master calendar. It would be similar to that too. Everybody would know what is going on, and that's how. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Can you restate the question?
Restate it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. UNC Charlotte has a very diverse student body. What will you do during your term to make sure that all of your messages have a large reach,
Okay.
reach the entire student body? And how will you ensure that each student in their different diverse backgrounds is fairly represented?
Okay, awesome. So as student body president, you're there to advocate for all students and all Niners. And I will see to it that I advocate for everyone's voice. When I am president, I do not see race, color, gender, or sexual orientation. I advocate for every single Niner because I see a fellow Niner in need of their voice to be heard. What I would go out and do is look into Bonnie Cohn's dream. It's actually an organization right now, but is looking into things such as, in Bonnie Cohn's dream, she said that she wanted a prayer house right next to her, right next to where she was laid down. That is a doable thing. You just really got to fight for it. That would give a lot of the religious organizations a place to have a prayer house. And so that's a big diversity thing. Also integrating class councils, because class councils do have a big outreach, and they are more for the events. And so as you would go to an event, it gets a big outreach, so touching a lot more voices. And then also, we have one of the biggest international fests at our school, and I want to see to it that we still have that as a growing thing. We want to make sure that we still have one of the biggest, because that's something that we can gloat about, being one of the best universities in the state. So.
Okay. Question 4. And Mr. D'Artoni, you'll go first. Ms. Jones, you'll go second. Do you feel that campus security is at a point where many students can feel safe on campus? If not, what still needs to be done?
All right. Being on the exec board this past year, we've seen so many things be implemented. That is really a great way to make sure that we are safe on this campus. Such things as revising the safe ride routes, making sure that they're running them at the most efficient possible way they can be. Also, the safety walk is always a great way to make sure this campus is very, very safe. We've worked always. The exec board has always, since I've been on it, worked really closely with all the policemen here on campus, and so I do feel that that is a safe campus.
Can you repeat the question really fast?
Do you feel that campus security is at a point where many students can feel safe on campus? If not, what still needs to be done?
Okay. So I feel like our campus is pretty safe, but it could be safer. Every environment could be safer. There could be implements. One of our platforms addresses promoting the Health and Wellness Center and the police and public safety. So we already have sexual education programs and self-defense programs, and many people don't know about that. And I feel like promoting these programs and letting more people know about it will also make students feel safer, because they know they have these programs set in place for them, and also have them working with the police and not feeling like they have to be afraid of the police and afraid to talk to the police or afraid to walk past the police. And they know that the police have programs and are working with the Health and Wellness Center, and they're there for them. So yes, our campus is pretty safe, but it could be safer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay, question 5. As you may know, UNC Charlotte is looking into expanding gender-neutral restrooms across campus. What is your stance on this controversial topic, and how do you plan to take part in either progressing the movement or halting it? And Ms. Jones, you'll go first.
So our platform is on inclusiveness, so we are not against gender-neutral bathrooms, because we want everybody to feel included. We want everybody to feel like their voice is being heard, and if the students on UNC Charlotte's campus wants a gender-neutral bathroom, then they should be able to get a gender-neutral bathroom if that's what's voted and passed on.
Can you repeat the question for me, please?
Yes. As you may know, UNC Charlotte is looking into expanding gender-neutral restrooms across campus. What is your stance on this controversial topic, and how do you plan to take part in either progressing the movement or halting
All right. I am for this movement because I feel that as a Niner, we are so diverse, and it would just push our diversity even more. And it's a great way to really show that Charlotte is for change. We really are a diverse group of students, and I'm going to simply say that I am for it because we are diverse.
Okay, this is the last question that I have for the candidates, and then we'll open it up if we have any audience questions. Okay, question 6, Mr. D'Artoni, you'll go first. Ms. Jones will go second. In your opinion, what is the largest problem UNC Charlotte students face today, and what would you do as student body president to help alleviate the student body from this problem?
Awesome. This is my favorite question. So as Charlotte students, I see our biggest problem is when I came in here, I just thought that tradition pride, as it is there, but it needs to be built upon a lot more. There's so many things that we can implement to bring the tradition here to on campus, and that will bring about a lot of pride here at Charlotte. Things I want to implement are a lot of athletic traditions. Those are a lot of things we can do to bring the pride. So pep rallies, campus t-shirt burn parties, so we get rid of like a nasty UNC Chapel Hill shirt or like a Duke shirt. We give you a nice crisp UNC Charlotte shirt. And then also, can you state the second part of the question?
Yes, second. What would you do as student body president to help alleviate the student body from this problem?
Okay, and I would just push for these traditions and just see to it that I hear your voice. And I want to hear your voice of the students of what will bring you pride at this campus. There are so many things that we can really push, and with your guys' voice, we can get them done. So, thank you.
In your opinion, what is the largest problem UNC Charlotte students face today, and what would you do as student body president to help alleviate the student body from this problem?
Okay. The biggest problem that I think UNC Charlotte students face today is reaching out to the bigger organizations that hold the voice of the campus and the faculty. So everything that I said tonight about inclusiveness, it will bridge the gap. So all these things about giving students opportunity to vote and to vote and have opinions on what the SGA association is talking about. Giving individual clubs and organizations opportunity to put their programs out there, promoting our programs that are already in place, giving freshmen the opportunity to be involved right when they come to campus. All of these things are bridging the gap, and that's how I feel like we can fix that problem.
Okay, at this time, does anyone in the audience have any questions they would like to ask? Yeah.
With the topic of gender neutral bathrooms. Now, I'm not saying that women are less than men or less than women. That would be an interesting expansion to UNC Charlotte. But what would happen if we get it passed and you hear an uproar of students who are not for it? Because there will be people that are for it, but there will also be people that are against it. Because personally, for me, private parts are called private parts because people want their privacy. And just the whole, like, that is a really, really controversial topic. So how, even if you're for it, if you see that a majority of students are not and it gets passed, how do you plan on, alleviating that situation and that stress?
Ms. Jones, you'll go first for this question.
So one of the things Chloe and I hope to see is a polling station on campus that is specifically designed for campus elections, campus issues. So students will be able to really voice what they really want on campus, and they will be able to, if gender neutral bathrooms is the issue, they will be able to vote on it. And just like we're we're going to vote on the SGA elections, they will be able to vote on whether or not they want gender-neutral bathrooms. And I understand that the people that want gender-neutral bathrooms are a minority, but those people have to express why they want it, why it would be beneficial, why UNC Charlotte actually needs gender-neutral bathrooms. Thank you.
All right. As a leader, I think you have to implement new initiatives to progress any organization or group. There's no way that you will ever progress if you're staying how you are right now. So say we do implement the new bathrooms, and there is such a big uproar. I think that is a discussion you'd have to have at a later date. But say we implement them and there is no uproar, and it is a great thing that brings this campus a new diverse aspect to it, and it brings us even a new aspect that no other colleges are doing right now. And if there's no uproar, then why change what just made something so great? So, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? And if you have a question that you'd like to specifically direct at either the vice presidents or the presidents, then make sure you make that clear. Yes.
So with the light rail system coming into play in the next few years, how would you like to reach the outside Charlotte community with us, seeing as there's going to be an influx of the outside Charlotte community coming in? So you have to build that relationship. How would you?
Is that for the presidents or vice presidents? Okay. Yeah.
Are you asking how we kind of like police who comes back on campus?
No, just how would you bridge that community gap? Because there's a gap right now, and there's not really outreach to the outside community. So how would you bridge that gap?
Okay. Through the light rail system?
Yeah, because they're going to be coming in.
Okay.
And you'll keep going first.
Okay. First things first about the light rail system, I fully support it. I think it will cut down drunk driving and drunk driving charges all across the board. But another thing about it is I think it will actually give it'll be a great bridge to the outside part of Charlotte, because it actually, if you think about it, it'll give you a means of living uptown and maybe even having an internship uptown and then coming to class that day through the light rail system. So it will bridge a whole new way of this school working. That might even be a new dynamic of any school around the nation, that we have the ability to work in the city half of the day and then come to night classes or morning classes. And so I think it might even bring a whole new dynamic to this school. So I fully support the light rail system. As for policing it, I do feel, I don't know what the police is putting in place, but there will be people, that question came up in my head, how will we kind of police people coming back on campus that aren't students? And it might cause problems or not. But I fully am confident in the police here on campus and the security on campus to fully look at all the situations and address all of those. So thank you very much.
Okay, so was policing actually your question?
More like community engagement.
Okay, so I'm really excited about the light rail. Also, if you ever sit in the student union after 8, you will see tons of people that do not even go to our school. And you can become friends with them. You see the same people over and over again. And I feel like Charlotte as a community tends to be accepting. So the people coming on the light rail through our school wouldn't be an issue. I feel like our campus is super open. If you go to the library, you see people that don't even go to our school. If sometimes you go to Crown and you see people in there with friends that don't even go to our school. So I think it wouldn't be a problem with including or connecting outside, or I wouldn't even call them outside, people that don't go to Charlotte and people that do go to Charlotte, because I feel like we already do. Did that answer your question?
Okay, any other questions? Yes.
To go based on what you talked about, connecting university in Charlotte, how do you plan connecting this part of campus and your inside campus by utilizing the resources of the school? What putting video some of the systems and marketing, like about school, like can you get from the marketing where you pretty much post about posters and also the residents. So pretty much in other words, some of how do you plan on getting SGA the word out about SGA more of those just this.
All right, awesome.
And Miss Jones, you'll be next.
So you want to know how to get SGA?
With the word out about like SGA, not just inside campus, but also like this like campus
Okay.
because I feel like there isn't a lot of information put out there.
Okay. So do I. SGA I feel like they have to do a better job of reaching out to the community, because if you walk outside, 7 out of 10 people do not even know that there's a campaign going on. So I think that's a very important issue. Are you asking how do we fix it, or how?
You guys talked about that you utilized different sections of
Okay.
How do you plan to use all the platforms besides that?
Okay. My specific platform me and Chloe's specific platform is designed to reach out to everyone. So whether you are in a small organization, a big organization, whether it's Latino or Black or white, whatever it may be, everyone is going to be included, and everybody is supposed to come together and get involved. So we want programs that push that, and programs that allow, or promotion of the programs that are already on campus, more promotion, because we already have all of these programs set in place. We just don't have promotion of it, because most people don't know what kind of programs we have. Does that make sense? Are you just shaking your head? Okay.
All right, thank you. I'm actually so glad you asked this. So Jared and I actually went over to the new, the early college, if you may know about it. You know about? Okay. The early college over in the engineering side of the campus, and they actually have an SGA of their own. They're high schoolers, and they want to take a field trip over to the bigger side of campus that they called it, and come see our exec meetings and see how we conduct ourselves. It was actually really cool to see the smaller version of SGA over there. It's like a 100-person school, so like they really can get stuff done. It's crazy. But also, like I said in the town hall meetings, so senators from SGA would meet with administrators from the engineering school and hold an open forum for all the people in the engineering college. And then you guys can voice your opinion of what you need to hear and what you want to be seeing done, anything you want to be implemented. And then for your question of how to get SGA out there, I think if you interact with anyone in SGA, there's not a lot of people that say bad things about it. So when you're talking to them, I really think they will vouch for it, and they will just want to be included too. So then with that interest, they will come to the elections, and they will also want to be involved, which they can get involved in their class councils, in Senate, judicial, or exec. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, any more? Yes?
My question is to you. Keep speaking of the town hall meetings, and I think this is a prime example that even discussions that are open to the entire community, either people don't know about them or people don't care about them. So how do you plan on getting people to actually come to those town hall meetings? Because they kind of don't serve the purpose that you want them to serve if no one's there. So how do you plan to get people to come out to those meetings and care about what people are talking about there?
All right, awesome. Thank you. Great question. And it is sometimes kind of sad to see that you guys or us as students will throw a big event or throw an open forum like this and nobody will show up. A great way to combat that is tabling, getting out. People that know me, I'm a very social person. I'm always out everywhere. And so I talk to a lot of people, and every single time I'm talking to people, I always bring up my opinions about the school and what I'm doing in SGA as the moment. And so face-to-face interaction, tabling, and still doing things with SWAR or SUAR, SWAR, marketing within, all the digital signage in the Cone Center, the Union, and Prospector. It's really just getting out there and tabling and all that. So, but if you are to look at a poster and you're just like, oh, I'm not interested, that would fall on the individual of not wanting to come to that. Yeah, we're going to tell them that on the posters that it is really interactive and your voice will be heard. So, thank you.
Ms. Jones, did you have any comments about that or no? It's fine if you don't. I just have to ask. Okay. And I think we have some Twitter questions, Alyssa. Do we? Okay. Let's get the Twitter questions really fast, and then I'll come back to you. Yeah.
Okay. How do you plan on utilizing media and university marketing to get the word out about the
Wait, we can't hear.
I said, how do you plan on utilizing media and university marketing to get the word out about SGA things, specific platforms to use?
Yeah, it's similar to the question about spreading SGA awareness to the engineering side of campus. Did you have any other ones? Okay. Sorry. No more? Okay. I'll take your question.
I think both of you talked about how you want to kind of change the campus, progress the campus and things like that. And you also, I think if I'm not mistaken, you both talked about diversity. You're both for diversity. So my question is kind of, what have you done within the organizations that you're part of now, or even individually, to progress the campus and maybe change the campus? And tagging along with that, how have you embraced diversity into what you've been doing throughout your whole school career?
And you answered last, right? Okay, so you'll go first. Okay.
No, I mean,
You answered last, right? Okay, yeah, sorry. Just kidding. You go first.
Okay. So, I really like your question. I am currently the president and founder of the Black History Club. That is how I am promoting diversity. Anybody can join to learn about Black history, learn about the roots of Black history, and promote oneself. So by doing that, or having clubs like that and BSU and the Latin Association, the Latin American Association, the Italian Club, this is promoting diversity because you have all these clubs that are empowering their race and empowering oneself. And also, Chloe and I don't believe that diversity is just about skin color in your race. It's about different types of organizations that you're in, different types of groups that you're involved in, and also what we talked about in our platform, the disability services, international students, transfer students, and the different types of groups that they're in. And again, inclusiveness and bringing everyone together promotes diversity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So things I have done to show diversity and how I've reached out to all of student body.
As well as what you've done so far.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. All right. So I was on the freshman class council as a freshman class president. And we did a lot of events, and the events tailored to everyone, all student, but anyone could really come to them. So that is, they were very diverse events. And then I know you asked specifically about me, but I really do feel Jared and I are so close that we work as a team. So also he brings about that. He was an OC, so he had diversity training, extensive diversity training. So he knows how to reach out to everyone. In athletics, we did really I tried to think of athletic traditions that really everyone could rally behind. So It doesn't matter who you are, but if you love Charlotte and if you love being a Niner, you would rally behind that, and that brings everyone together. Also, we want to implement tabling at SOAR that reach a whole new demographic of all incoming students. So it would just be tabling, and we would try to hit on every single incoming freshman or student. So yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have any other Twitter questions?
No.
Okay, last chance. Any questions? Okay. On the behalf of the Niner Times and Student Niner Media, I'd like to thank all the candidates and all the audience members for coming out tonight. The voting period will run from 8 a.m. on Tuesday, March 24th through 5 p.m. on Wednesday, March 25th. To vote, visit vote.uncc.edu, and the results will be announced at noon on Thursday, March 26th. Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
What?
What? Oh, yeah, just candidates.